Welcome to Pam and the Purple Couch Podcast, hosted by Pamela Furr, with our co-hosts Dr. Manny Rodriguez, Missy Owen, and Loki DePristo. Together, we're going to dive deep into topics such as education, neurodiversity, autism, and applied behavioral analysis. Remember to click subscribe today so you don't miss out on any future episodes.
Hi, friends and family, and welcome back to another episode of the Purple Couch Podcast. Today, we have a really spicy subject. At least it was in our household for many years. As a mom of a child in this new wonderful age of technology, a lot of my son's friends, Loki here on the Purple Couch today, were online. And as a parent who didn't grow up in that generation, I wanted him to be outside riding his bike. I wanted him to go to the playground. I wanted him to have true human interaction with what I used to tell him are his live friends. Well, do you have any real friends, Loki? Ooh, did that cause an argument in my house? So today, we want to deep dive into your friends. Are they real? Are they not real? This connection that we have with our community today, what defines friendships? Is it a face-to-face interaction? Or is it interactions online that have been built over years of socialization? That's our episode today on the Purple Couch Podcast. So, Loki, what's your feedback on this?
Okay, here we go. Okay,
you and I butt heads on this a lot up until the last 2 years, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
So what was Mom's biggest thing about the friends?
Okay, you were just not, you didn't want me to stay inside, basically. You wanted me to go out and meet friends and all that, and trust me, this will be a story that we get into also later in the episode, but
Okay.
that people have been doing the same thing as well.
Okay.
There's an entire, like, sort of wave of people that sort of use other chatting apps to make friends than other methods of going outside and such, because the main overarching reason, while I know it usually takes us like at least half an episode to get to the main topic of it,
Okay.
I'm being honest, the main topic that like sort of surrounds this episode is that, well, not really the topic, but the problem is that it's much easier to find friends that are interested in the same things as you when you're in an online community outside of a like outside community, basically.
Okay.
Like,
so real quick, before you deep into that, alrighty, can you talk to our viewers and listeners about where do you find these friends online? You know, everyone talks about dating apps, but this is not the world I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about hooking up. I'm not talking about
usually just social media or like
okay, but
social
explain
media.
Because I see now we're talking a thin line.
Hold on, trust me.
Because you don't like social media.
I'm going to get to that, and I think I'm also going to get to that in this episode as well. But when I say social media, you must understand that during the times of the years, that was a little bit of a grammar word, during the time of the 2000s, social media has sort of been infused into this, like, one word of social media, and yet if you try to split them together, social media is literally just anything that you could, like, communicate with. It's media that's used for the socializing purposes, for its socializing, you get what I mean, but...
Okay, I do because I'm your mom.
Yes.
But the viewers don't realize you do not have a Facebook.
Yes.
You do not go on Facebook. You do not go on Instagram.
You want me to go into
the
topic now? Okay,
yes,
well...
if you can kind of, elaborate, because us Gen Xers that are old school, see, we didn't have this technology. So, look, this is no joke. With your Aunt Stephanie and myself, if we wanted to have a private phone call, we had a corded telephone.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you had to slide the telephone cord underneath the door and shut your door.
Yeah.
That's how you had a private call.
And
cell phones, we didn't even have them until after I graduated.
Yeah, I know. And also, let me guess, you're going to put, you taped 2 cans onto a little string and passed them over to your treehouse friends and talk to them like you're on the phone.
No, what was that, Manny? That's the traditionalist.
Yeah,
that was the traditionalist. Missy, don't you laugh on that, because she didn't know who... Elizabeth Taylor wasn't that the lady? You know,
That is
Yes.
someone famous.
Movie
I
star,
don't think
movie
it is
actress.
Not nowadays. That's
Okay, well,
okay.
anyways, I would like to.
Yes, so we
I-
digress. All right,
I
so
would
I'm
like
with you.
so on terms of social media,
So what is
that
your social media? How about we do it that way?
I mainly, even though it's a bad site and I do want to get off of it and go onto other more private social networking apps,
Okay.
I use Twitter. I use practically only Twitter and Discord. I keep it only to like two main limited sort of usages on that
Okay.
front because of the fact I'm getting to that, Mom.
Well, wait,
Mom,
real quick.
I'm-
Our viewers, they've heard of Twitter.
Yes.
Okay. But remember,
Well, no, X, but I still
X
call
now,
it Twitter
yes.
because I don't know why.
well, we're going to give credit to X because it's Elon Musk's product now and he prefers it being called X. So let's call it X. All right. But generation even before myself will not know what Discord is.
Yes.
Okay. So can you kind of explain to our viewers what is Discord?
Okay, well, it's practically just I'm trying to think of a way to say this. The audience that you're talking about knows about WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, so WhatsApp is a messaging service. So just like iMessage, just like your regular text message, WhatsApp is another form of close-ended encrypted messaging. So it's just another messaging application that you can use. Just like for people that are on Facebook, they use Facebook Messenger. So it is, again, it's a communication application that you can use.
So,
WhatsApp came in, especially
so by that logic, Discord is also a communication application, just with a bit more services for more exploration in such
Yes.
ways, where their main way of having ways for people to chat is through servers that people can make and
Perfect.
communally like work together on and talk with.
Now, the link, though, for our audience is that those server rooms that you're setting up are normally geared in like-minded. So whether it is a video game
or an
that-
anime or a
Yes.
show
so
or
you have
manga.
a subject matter.
Yeah.
So if we think about in terms of becoming friends with other people, like-minded people, it is a wonderful platform because you can make up the server room based on your topic of individuality.
Or find a server room.
Yes.
The board things
Right.
that used to be.
Yeah, you don't like again.
Gotcha.
Again,
So, like, if we all liked Harry Potter, we could go into a Harry Potter server room.
Yeah.
And that would be what the discussion would be.
Oh,
Or,
Yeah,
and even then, in those server rooms, there's different channels which are for different topics in the show.
does this sound like old school
or-
dial up?
or
that's actually what I heard.
yeah,
about
forum
Discord.
post, forum.
Yeah, Discord is like the current modern day AOL in
Yes.
the day. So
Yeah,
because AOL they would call them channels.
Yes.
It's right, but there was forums and groups and stuff. In Facebook, you would call them pages.
Yes.
Facebook
Mhm.
pages, like they're
Yeah,
like-minded pages, right? So all these platforms have different ways of calling it, but Discord is probably the closest that I recall is more like AOL.
Yes.
yeah.
What it used to be anyway.
But it's also sort of like WhatsApp. I mean, not WhatsApp. Sorry, that's a different thing. What was the thing I compared it to again? That messaging app. I completely forgot the name of again. WeChat. I forgot.
WeChat is international. But
Yeah.
yeah, same thing. But
Oh,
Same-
Messenger.
Messenger.
Yeah, Messenger. Yeah, you
Sorry.
were talking about Messenger.
Sorry, but yeah, it's sort of like Messenger again with more varieties. There's even voice chat channels where you can join into it and just talk with people in the server as well if they ever decide to opt into the voice chat channel as well.
all right. So you have found like-minded friends in
Yes.
these channels, in these groups, in these
Mhm.
servers
Yeah.
that all have conversation topics that you can all communally interact with.
Yeah, and sometimes most servers aren't even based around a community of sorts. Sometimes you just find a group of people that you like and say, hey, can you join my server? That way we could just keep in touch there and specifically only there. That way any weirdos that are outside of the servers that we usually communicate in don't really go there. So it's a server for just us and other friends. And yeah, it's
So that's how your circle works.
yeah.
So his groups of friends then become their own server room so that they can basically
Hang out.
hang out and ban those that wouldn't be within that group topic. So
Yeah.
if you had any trolls or haters, you want to
Yeah.
tell our audience what trolls and haters are?
I mean, I wonder what the term hater means. But yeah, it's people who sabotage, like scam, like whatnot, just sort of just assholes.
Well, we have them everywhere.
Yeah,
So
but
even in the online friend community, you still have to combat that.
yeah,
So yeah.
again,
So in our home, when I made the comment to you that I wanted you to go out and have real friends.
all right, now I could talk about this
Yes,
because it's the
because
perfect transition.
I got to tell you, a lot of parents like myself
Mhm.
that are wanting the best for their kids because
You
it
want-
was never anything socially bad. It wasn't me trying to filter. I just wanted you to have experiences and to have lasting friendships because friendships are very important. We are human beings are social beings. And I don't want you ever to feel alone. And there's always going to be times that you don't want to talk to your mom. You're not going to want to talk to a family member. And so I want you to have like-minded beings.
You say that again as well, but also your main idea was just say, go to Culver's, there are people there. And I go to Culver's and there weren't people there.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is also another problem. Because of the fact that so many people are using Discord to find like-minded people, most social hangout spots are usually already having closed out groups that you can't
Yep.
really like join in or are just empty. Because name a time when you saw like an 18-year-old at a park by their own decision and not by their parents.
No, I agree with him.
And
Especially nowadays, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and also again with the Culvers, there was a group there, but imagine hanging out with a friend group and suddenly you see this guy just join in on your conversation. Hey guys, what's good? My name's Loki. How's it going? Sound familiar about a topic I talked about literally just right now?
Yes. No, I get you. I do get you, but I didn't understand it at that time.
Yeah.
At that time, honestly, I thought that it was just a bunch of kids getting together to play video games.
Mhm.
But then I started noticing the same names.
Mhm.
And then I started realizing that even though these were tags, not their real names, and Loki has his own name and some of his friends that are in his Discord have names that now have become familiar to me. And so he has some of these friends he's been friends with for 5 to 7 years. Same group and how can I, as a parent, when I hear him now talking, and we've had these long, in-depth discussions, and I'm like, wait a second. I've heard him talk to friends that have had breakups, have been, picked on at school. I hear them coaching themselves. They're literally coaching each other in their conversations. The game might have been the
Reason for us to be together, but it's
Yes.
not the reason for us staying together.
Absolutely. That right there is key. But as a parent, especially as a parent who doesn't use Discord, as a parent who does not use online social media as a
Besides for
form.
business.
Yes, absolutely. For me, when I get home, the last thing I want to do is look at a computer because it's part of my job and my daily living. So when I get home in my personal time, that's not something that I gear towards as, oh, let me go jump on this game now. Man, the best thing that comes from me is Beat Saber, and it's because it's physical activity and I can jam out to it. But for you all have, I'm an old school Dungeon and Dragons player, but even now they've moved that into an online format. So I know he's got D&D games that he jumps into, and it's all on your Discord server. So, as a mom that's talking with other moms and dads and grandparents out there, let them know that just like when you and I had that conversation, that these people are your true friends and that these aren't just gamers.
Yeah.
And I think talk to your kids, guys. Everyone sitting here, even as young as your children are, not the teenagers, but, talk to your kids about it because your kids will give you that information. But again, it goes down to having those communication skills with them. Don't just come in as the bully parent.
Yeah.
Understand from their point of view and try to meet in the middle. Loki's never going to be a sports player. It's not his jam. Playing football, playing baseball just was boring to you. We
Yeah.
tried it. And we tried it. We tried soccer. We tried baseball. We tried t-ball.
Did we try t-ball?
That was the first one. The
Oh.
first one was t-ball. And you just stayed out there in your own little world like, okay, the ball's going to come to me at some point. And
I remember the time when I was at that one Christian group and we were playing that ball game, and then I was like in the far back because I knew the ball was going to be thrown really far. I looked up and I see the ball coming directly at my face. It's like, I see. And I get donked directly into the head. I was just looking straight up, just like,
So is that what happened? Is that's why the sports just went goodbye in our house?
I feel like that's sort of half the reason.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go back to my online friends. At least I won't be
I don't even-
physically impaled.
I don't even think I had like Discord during that time. I just think I wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
But do you see, those are the conversations, and most of the time during that time, you didn't have a lot of expressive communication with me. So I was trying everything. What would you give advice to our parents and our caregivers at home if they have a child that spends 90% of their time with their headphones on in their own social reality world?
I mean, I'd say just simply ask them. I know that sounds corny, but like literally just asking them what are they doing, and also just knocking first instead of just barging into their room feels like a great option. Also, taking this from her as well. But knocking first, and then if they are not in a game, then you should just ask them, saying, "Hey, so do you use any like chatting apps of the sort or anything like that?" And then just simply just communicating with them, saying like, "Hey, I'm not going to barge into your business of like your online world and such, but I would like to know like what's going on in there at least." Because again, even if they're having fun, it's still an environment where you still should like at least have a little bit of communication to ask like, "Hey, what's going on in there?" or something along the lines of that. But there's a difference though, however.
Okay.
You shouldn't really I'm trying to think of a way to say this. You shouldn't really monitor them though. You
Okay.
shouldn't monitor
So now,
them.
as a parent, and I'm sure Manny, I can already see you over there, and Missy's like,
Oh, some things I've
yes. So
Yeah.
stranger danger.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I know
So
we'd
what
get
is
into
the
this.
children right now that are even in your class? The alpha generation.
Yeah.
Okay. Since they are all technology driven, since we know right now that this next generation of student going through the school system, so that we can look at an age bracket, is in a world of technology.
Mhm.
Okay. There's no getting around it, especially with AI and everything that is approaching us. How, as parents, from someone that is of your Gen Z generation, how do we protect? Yes, I know. This is the
gonna be a
tough
very
question.
no, I know the answer. It's just it's gonna be really not good.
Well, be real with us. What do we do to protect our kids from online?
Predators?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be real with us. Loki, you're living in it. How do you filter through that? Now, I can tell them what you and I did. Do you want me to tell them that first?
Sure.
So, I'm not Discord savvy, but I made a Discord account and I jumped into one of his server rooms. So the reason
Which one?
well, we've been friends on Discord now, if you remember, for about 4
You didn't jump into one of my server rooms.
Well, hold on.
I
Is that
guide-
maybe it's the wording? Sorry.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
remember,
you
I don't know this
friended
term.
me. You
Yes.
friended me, and I just sort of forgot about you. I didn't invite you to a server.
No,
I
this
didn't.
is
The only
true.
time I invited you to a server was to teach you about the main mechanics of Discord.
Yes.
For some reason, you didn't really notify me about. You didn't know how to use Discord in the first place.
Well, because I didn't want you to know I was checking all your stuff out.
Well, you weren't even checking my stuff out. You weren't even invited to my servers or know my friends list or any of that such.
So how do we tell our parents about that?
Okay, now here comes the problem.
Yes, this is how do we protect our kids?
This is a problem because I don't know how much of a panic state this is going to send our audience in, but you really can't.
No, I love that because it's true.
Because
So-
this is
so give them.
because this is mostly just sort of on the fault. Like this is sort of a thing that if the child or like I don't even think they're allowing child. You have to be at least 13 and above to use Discord.
Okay.
Or 15, depending. I kind of forgot. But it's mostly on the teenagers' responsibility to know when this is a bad person and when to stop communicating with them.
Oh, and I love this. So,
Because
this is the sense of independence.
and responsibility.
Yes. Now, when then, since we're already talking 13, if 13 is the age that you can become a member of Discord, all right?
Mhm.
So at 13, let's reverse this. Let's say Manny's child would like to join Discord, okay? What type of conversations should Manny be having with his teenager to prepare them to know what to look for if there is a stranger danger creeper?
Just literally just teach them etiquette and social communication skills.
Okay,
Because,
give me an example of that.
like, I don't know, like, they should know a basic understanding of how to construct sentences, on how to talk normally, how to socialize, stuff that's already been happening at Puzzle Box.
Okay.
Uh,
So what kids are already learning in the classroom, they should implement that into the online environment. So what should a 13-year-old do if all of a sudden they get a message from someone stating how beautiful they are?
Mostly, again, I remember this because at Puzzle Box, way when I was like, what, 11?
I don't know. You tell me.
11, there was an entire, during PE, we had an entire talk about stranger danger and such, like an entire video, right?
Oh, yes.
That was taught when I was like 11 and when I was still in class.
Yes.
And that sort of also still is just, again, a basic thing that's really important to know, because without that, there would be no baseline.
Ah, that is so well put. As we're sitting here, we're shaking our heads. So what does that mean, mom and dads? What Loki is summarizing to say is that stranger danger, do not go with the white van and the candy bar in the back seat.
Yeah.
That's for us Gen Xers. We know all about that. Those rules still apply today.
Yeah, just in
These-
an online sense.
Absolutely.
Like-
But see, so many parents, Loki, are not even having those conversations anymore with their kids.
Yeah, which, again, it's parents need to take initiative on, like, stuff that they aren't learning in school, because
Absolutely. So how is a parent to know what they're learning in school?
I think, if anything, how's a parent to know? Well, again, it's mostly to ask their kid about what they're doing, and again, don't be restricting or confining them into a particular place or a particular, like, mindset that they're trying to do. And I feel like, again, on the topic of restricting, I don't know. Sorry.
So can I help our parents here?
Yeah.
Manny, Missy, I think we all can agree that in our clinic setting and in our academic setting, we are always teaching stranger danger.
Yeah.
Why? Especially because in the neurodivergent community, our children do want friendship.
But they're also manipulatable.
Yes.
Manipulable? Yeah.
That's exactly where I was going with this, Loki,
Mhm.
is that because when you were 11, when you were 9, you wanted friendships so badly that we had to reinforce, which thank goodness we did, because he's 19 and he's still bringing up the lessons that we were teaching to our children about what does stranger danger look like. I know, Missy, in one of our episodes, we can go a little bit deeper in this because you did an entire module for our
Mhm.
clinical and academic kids to know, do you really know what stranger danger means?
Yeah.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
No.
I also want to say stranger danger is also just a thing that, like, you can say exists, but you need the child to see it firsthand to, like, get a feeling of dread or something along the lines of that.
I know.
And that isn't really something that could be artificially made.
Correct.
And stranger danger online looks totally different.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Them just saying, what's your name? Where do you live? hey, can I call you? Give me your phone number.
Yeah.
And it just built
Oh.
on and on, which seems pretty trivial to some, but it's just the pattern.
Trivial.
What they're looking for.
That's, and I don't mean to touch you. I'm touching you because it's a mom moment.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talked about you having to show me the ins and outs of Discord, what you just brought up was one of the biggest things. My son was like, don't use your name. Do not use your name. And he was like, no, what's your tag? You've got to come up with a tag because you don't want to use your real name because, again, it's a form of protection.
Mhm.
So parents, we're going to stop there today. And I just want to take and hone in on a couple of the key things we talked about. Number one, the online environment has become a place where our children are now making friendships. And we're not talking about just gamers tuning in to play the latest version of Fortnite. No, we're talking about kids that are getting together because they may like Fortnite, but then becoming a group of social companions that are shaping, helping themselves get through depression, handle
Around
bullying.
states, around in almost the entire world. I have a friend in I don't know, Australia.
Yes. Well, I remember that because you were using some of that Australian slang. And do you remember you said something?
No. I didn't do anything like that. And I think revealing that in this sort of space is a little. Anyways, we got a wrap up to do.
Guys, next time, how much screen time is too much? Woo! We're really hitting those tight subjects, the ones that make Loki make faces at me. So guys, if you are wondering what to do in your household and you need tips and tricks, well, come on back to the Purple Couch Podcast. We're here. Welcome to the family.